What's up you guys, it's 2Bricks back in with another video, and I just wanted to show you guys another one of my Midi-scale characters that I've been working on. This time we're going to be taking a look at the Pit Droid from Episode 1, from the Clone Wars, and most recently from The Mandalorian. I think this is a really cute little droid. I've always liked these ever since I first saw them in The Phantom Menace. They're kind of these fun, bumbling, clumsy little Three Stooges style droids, and yeah, so I knew I wanted to build one when I started building my droid series, which is now my character series. And so that's one of the ones that I'm going to share with you guys today. I actually had this ready to go much earlier, but I didn't share it because I didn't actually feel ready yet in the final kind of design. I didn't feel comfortable calling it done. And so I wanted to make some improvements to it, and I'll show you guys what those are. And yeah, and then I think now I'm comfortable calling this done and ready to be an official part of the Star Wars Midi-scale character family. So let's take a look. All right, you guys, so let's take a look at this character. So obviously, if you guys remember them from the Phantom Menace, you know that they're very kind of nimble. They hop around a lot, and they're little mechanics. They work on all the engines of the giant pod racers and things like that. So I wanted to make sure that this had a sufficient range of motion, as well as looking correct proportionally to all the rest of my droids. So I'll show you guys some of the features that this guy has. Obviously you have the big dome, or big kind of radar dish shaped head. And I wanted to get that eye central to that shape right there. I feel like usually people place the eye either really high or really low on these, and it's actually pretty much the center of the dish kind of cuts right across. So I wanted to get that. I'm using a tire which is attached to a couple of studs, and then just a flat round tile at the front to give it the eye look, because you know every droid has a unique kind of size of eyeball, whatever kind of sensor thing they give the droids in these movies, and I wanted to get this one correct. His neck is posable, so he can go, he only has up until this plate kind of lines up straight with the underside. It's just a single range of motion for that, but then the actual head is on a ball joint, so it can tilt from side to side. It can look very expressive, like he can look very confused. I'm using, once again, those Harry Potter wands, which are coming in super handy for little details. I'm using those for the antenna there. And then as far as the body goes, that's a fairly simplistic, just a sideways constructed, the torso is just a sideways constructed build right there, with kind of these clips in the side that hold on to these T-bar pieces, and the T-bar gives you a range of motion, like where it can bring the arm or the shoulder forward, and then because there's a clip that's attached to that, it can also raise the arm up and down. So it gives you a pretty decent kind of full range in there, where you can bring the arm across the front, which I really like, or bring it to straight here. The elbows are just ball joints again, with this time I'm using a semi-illegal technique by plugging this Technic pin with a ball end into the bottom of this piece right here, but it is attaching into this rod, so that is actually double kind of plugging in there, so it is pretty sturdy. But I really liked that the droids have this super thin section on their arm, and I wanted to replicate that in here, so that's that. He's got his comically oversized wrench, which I just love to give characters. I think it's just Ratchet and Clank back in the day made me appreciate characters with really oversized wrenches. I don't know. So yeah, he's holding on to that, and it can very easily be removed from the hand as well. The hand is just this setup where I have this gap created by a cheese wedge and one of these sloped pieces, which gives you just enough room to hold a bar-sized accessory in there. So that's how that was achieved. I'll just put it back real quick, like so. I don't think I've ever seen that size of gap used for that purpose before, so that's something that's interesting, I guess, noteworthy about this design. And then going down into the hips, there's this interesting kind of straight kind of rod that runs vertically, or sorry, not vertically, that runs horizontally right down the middle of his chest, or his stomach, I guess, where his stomach would be. And then that allows the whole chest to pivot over that, so he can look down if he needs to, and then that kind of just connects into his hips down here as well. Then again, ball joints for the hips and the knees on this one, because I wanted it to have nice posable legs, and a clip and relatively new bar holder piece that gives the ankles that little bit of side splay, so he can, you know, put his legs out, and then he can adjust the ankles in a little bit so that his feet are standing flat. So there that is, pretty simple. And then he just has these little claw toes, because they do have like these two little individual toes on the end of each foot. And then on this side I just gave him a little accessory that is like this little piece of some kind of machinery or a part that he might be applying or working on, that's just based off of a photo that I saw of one of these droids holding a little piece of something, and so I just thought that was a cute little thing and I wanted to add something in there for that. So yeah, all in all, a pretty simple little guy. And the part that wasn't really satisfying to me before was the way that the limbs were attached. I really wasn't getting the range of motion that I wanted. Like I couldn't bend the elbow in and out, and I couldn't bend the wrist in and out, and I also couldn't kind of attach accessories nicely to the hands the way that I wanted to. So that all had to kind of get redesigned. And then also a lot of the way that the ankles were done just didn't give me a satisfying ability to pose the character. So I think this works out much better, and I think scale-wise he fits really appropriately. You put him next to BB-8. He looks correct. These are short little guys, so yeah, that works out really well, I think. So there is the DUM Series, DUM Series Pit Droid. There he is, part of the family. All right, you guys, so there you go. I've just put him back with a couple of his friends from the movies. These are some droids that have, or characters that have had run-ins with pit droids in the movies and TV shows, so I just wanted to put those there and not over-clutter the frame with everybody. You saw them at the beginning, so I'm going to get to work on the next video. In the meantime, please do leave me a comment below. Let me know what you thought of this video and what you're interested to see going forward from the character series. This is a really, really fun scale to build at, because I can actually translate the characters pretty faithfully and give all the details that I want to give without going crazy and just you know, having huge models that take up tons of parts. So this has been a really fun series, and I'm curious to know what you guys want to see. There's no suggestion too wacky, although the ones that are too wacky I probably won't end up doing, but hey, leave them down below and let me know. Alright you guys, so I'm going to get to work on the next video. Like I said, while we're all quarantining ourselves, I'm trying to keep as busy as I can with content for you guys. See you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.